I'm pretty sure that this video will either wildly surprise you or shock you.
Yes, chef.
Fluffy. Doesn't get any weirder than this. Hello from our apartment in Tokyo, everyone. We've been living here for about 2 weeks-ish, and it has been a very interesting time. It's really hard to sum up Tokyo in one sentence even, because there's so many different things to do and different things to see. But there are especially a lot of things here that you just simply will not see anywhere else in the world. So we hope that with this video we can capture some of that magic and take you with us through the city. We had traveled to Tokyo via the super fast Shinkansen train from Osaka, where we had a little holiday with a friend, treating ourselves to some well-known activities in Japan, like this super cozy cat cafe. As well as some less conventional ones, like this awesome vertical restaurant run by one amazing woman.
Hello, Shio. Do you hear me?
Hi.
Your food is really amazing.
After living on the island of Okinawa for 3 weeks before all of this, we had made a great first impression on mainland Japan by choosing dipping noodles as our first meal in a shaking regional train in Osaka.
I feel like this might be wasabi.
We got our do-over on the 3-hour journey from Osaka to Tokyo, which went perfectly smooth. But now we had officially arrived in the big capital and had to figure out how to live, get around, and have fun in a city of almost 40 million people. Pretty intimidating for a girl who grew up in tiny Dutch villages, I gotta say. Ali, on the other hand, felt right at home.
Nah, that's such.
We walked over the legendary Shibuya crossing, the busiest crossroads in the world, with 2,000 other people. Visited the iconic stairs from the must-watch movie Your Name. Shuffled through the crowded pathways towards the famous Sensoji temple with hundreds of other visitors, and let some of the most famous scenes of Tokyo take us into another world. But after this introduction, we were ready to dive even deeper into what already seemed to become one of the most fascinating cities we ever visited. To discover some of its most baffling parts, and what we would find would be quite unforgettable. Just had a little retail snack, and now we're going right into the craziness of Tokyo. Are you ready? I took my unsuspecting boyfriend to Takeshita Street, the heart of one of Tokyo's most famous cultural phenomena, called Kawaii. Kawaii literally translates to cute or adorable. The cuteness is palpable here and emphasizes a certain cuteness, charm, or childlike innocence. How is it?
Really nice.
You will find kawaii all over Japan. On the outside, kawaii is often expressed through a pop culture aesthetic of things like cuddly animals or pink clothes and accessories. And that is exactly what you will get to see here. And what was very clear here in Takeshita Street was that the available snacks were just as cute and sweet as kawaii culture. Of course, we had to find out what that tastes like.
And
Fluffy.
this is the small one.
Big one would have been crazy.
30 years old. Living a 12-year-old boy's dream.
And lastly, to solidify our memories of this sugary street, we decided to do something very Japanese that led us down into this burikura.
I have no idea.
Abbreviated from the words Purinto Kurabu, which literally mean print club. Burikura refers to a type of photo booths that have been very popular among Japanese youth and arguably a must-try for tourists. Walking into what felt like the epicenter of Kawaii technology, we weren't sure what to expect here.
I am very confused. I don't know what this is. 6 small ones or 2 big ones? I think it's different ones.
Nice choice. I was too late, I think. What is this? You have to save face every time. Oh my god.
Right? Oh, now let's go to the other one.
Oh my god, I'm actually kind of glad that this is over.
What started out in the late 90s as simple machines that took your photo and placed a nice frame around it, much like how we know photo booths in Europe,
I feel massive amounts of cringe.
had clearly become a very sophisticated process of editing and decorating your precious pictures, which made it possible for Ali and me to find out how we would look as a kawaii couple.
Here. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely an experience.
Yeah.
Really, it doesn't get any weirder than this. But apparently people enjoy doing this, get a lot of fun out of it, and for us, it's a pretty cool souvenir.
Just goes on and on.
I found one of my favorite thrift stores here in this cute street. What's a better way to end this very cute afternoon than looking for some cute clothes? Look at this. With my new thrift store find and our experience at Takeshita Street in the pocket, I realized that adding a bit of kawaii in your life could actually be a lot of fun. But when it comes to fashion, Ali and I were looking to try a slightly different Japanese style. And then, in another part of Tokyo, we found it. Look where we have ended up.
I like it.
It's so long.
Yeah,
Is it comfy?
it's very warm. It's really nice. I like the color a lot.
In spite of recent malbehavior of tourists and their cameras in Japan, the shop owners kindly allowed us to film around in this fascinating store. We are looking at second-hand recycled kimonos here. And I'm just blown away by how beautiful this fabric is. What do you think?
I think it's nice.
Okay, I'm getting this one too. It feels so lavish. Look at the size of the sleeve.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, a kimono is a long, loose, traditional Japanese robe with wide sleeves tied with a sash. Its history can be traced back over 1,000 years ago, and for a long time it was the most common garment in Japan. But what I didn't know before is just how many types of kimonos exist.
The question is just, what kind of material do you want?
Yeah.
Like what kind of pattern? I think this pattern is really cool.
After all, the word kimono simply means the thing to wear. And how that thing looks can be very different according to the occasion, the season, or even the age of the wearer. The items in this store were so interesting and affordable that we could not leave without taking some home.
This was a success.
So, was that a good idea or what?
That was a really good idea of you. I was at first thinking, oh, there's probably nothing for us, and then I tried on this yukata, and then it was like, it's too big, but she said it's not too bad because it's supposed to be like really long and up here. I just scratched myself here to mark it. Yeah.
I scored really well in the souvenir department, and I can show it because by the time this video comes out, I've already gifted all of this.
Yeah.
And you are contributing to reusing clothes instead of buying into the fast fashion industry.
Yeah, that is true. Even though mine was new, I think.
Oh, really? Oops.
Yeah.
I mean, what is cooler than a traditional piece of clothing that you can just wear for fun in your house, or maybe even outside, who knows?
A one-piece piece of clothing.
Yeah. If you were amazed by Takeshita's Kawaii streets and our thrifty kimonos, then you'll be even more flabbergasted with what is coming next. Because in the following days, Ali and I decided to explore another one of Tokyo's special wards, called Akihabara, the city's famed hub for electronics, manga, anime, and video games. And you can probably guess who made it there first.
It's a really good coffee. Sucks I only find out about these good coffees now on the last days of Tokyo. Okay, well, I just got myself in 2 moves. I just pushed this down. I didn't really plan on this. Okay, it's kind of awkward.
How are ya?
Look what I got.
It's another day of our weekend, so another day of exploring Tokyo. I just joined Ali by train here in this very interesting district called Akihabara. Ali will tell you in a second what that's all about. We just had some really good ramen in this restaurant behind us, where we had really a front row seat to how the noodles were made. It seems like everywhere in Tokyo is just like a noodle haven. The cool thing about Akihabara is that it offers not just new stuff, but also a lot of secondhand hardware retail stores. And it is really fun to experience this big recycling culture. What are you looking for, babe?
I mean, I'm just looking at the games, what they have here. Pretty cool, but nothing crazy so far, sadly. Sadly.
For
For example, in the famous Hard Off stores, you can find anything from used electronics to super cool guitars for a pretty good price.
That's where we belong.
Who would have thought that the junk section only has junk?
But if you spend time in Akihabara, you will no doubt also notice a particularly odd thing that you won't easily find anywhere else in the world. Tokyo's famous maid cafes. Women dressed up in maid outfits may approach and invite you into their restaurant, where they will act as servants to treat a customer, the master or princess, as if they were in their private home. Now, to Europeans this might sound worse than it is, but imagine cutely decorating your food and engaging with you in a chat, that sort of thing.
I think we found a lot of cool stuff here, but like nothing we really need.
Yeah.
And I still want to look for a Walkman, because that's clearly something I need. So,
Why is this whole like anime and electronics district combined with so many maid cafes? Why is that? Explain that connection.
Should I explain that? I don't think there's a big overlap in the crowd that comes here for one and the other thing. Also AMD, shout out to Sube.
So whether you want to experience somewhat geeky vibes, search for cool retro games, or enjoy the unique Japanese art styles of manga and anime, Akihabara is the right place to explore. And after we inevitably got distracted by Tokyo's all too addictive claw machines again, I took Ali to another one of Tokyo's best surprises.
Lucius. Okay, as you can probably tell, we've left the busyness of Akihabara behind us, and I'm now taking Ali to a very special cafe, and he has no idea what's gonna happen there.
I don't.
So, sweetie, it's not a cat cafe. It's not a capybara cafe. It's not an otter cafe. It's not a mini pig.
Oh, that was my next guess. Is it a dog cafe?
No,
But it's like a themed cafe?
kind of.
The special cafe I was about to take Ali to has nothing to do with the many themed animal cafes that you can visit in Japan, but instead showcases what might be one of the coolest human inventions of our times. Just a short metro ride away from Akihabara lies the cozy Dawn Avatar Robot Cafe, where you are greeted and seated in the most futuristic way. But these beautifully designed waiter robots are not just empty shells. They are actually remotely controlled by people who have difficulty going out for various reasons.
You excited?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Never seen a robot before. It's a joke, I studied robotics.
The people who work at the Avatar Robot Cafe are called pilots. Currently, the cafe employs about 60 pilots from within Japan and overseas. So, Dawn Cafe does not just offer you to enjoy nice food and drinks.
I think our drinks are coming.
You can also connect with someone who would otherwise have great difficulty leaving their house or go to work, for example, due to a severe disability.
But why is she not taking the other road? That's for them. Oh my god, it's coming. Thank you so much. So the tiny robot avatar next to us just checked in with us. And there was a lady on the other side of the line who just wanted to have a little chat with us. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah. Because of her illness, she has been kind of stuck at home for, I think, 10 years almost, I read. And in this way, she can have like a pretty great job, I think, from the comfort of her home, meeting different people and working in this unique cafe. I think it's a really cool concept.
Yeah, I really like it too.
Yeah.
And the coffee is good too.
Based on his own experience of not being able to go to school and the wish to eliminate human loneliness, Ori Yoshifuji was driven to bring the idea of a secondary body to life. Now, his avatar robots allow people with severe conditions, such as spinal cord injuries or MS, to continue participating in society and earn salaries. And in the cafe, there are lots of opportunities to try out what it feels like to operate them, or even what it feels like to try and get a gotcha gift without using your fingers to turn the button.
Yeah, you just have to say, these are not the Jedi you're looking for.
Doing it wrong?
I think maybe closer.
Besides some pretty amazing tech, Dawn Cafe shows us new ways of inclusivity and accessibility for our ever-growing and connecting world, and only further proves the coolness of Tokyo, a city that is forever experimental and brings the future into the now.
I'm a little... Yeah. Yeah.
If you're still not convinced why you should experience the cutting-edge vibes of Tokyo at least once in your life, let us take you to another exciting area of the city that you had no idea existed.
Ali doesn't want to be on the same escalator as me.
But first, food. Because we better not go there hungry. We'll take a stop at that one place inside a train station to see if their noodles really live up to the reputation. What we've been noticing since living in Japan for over a month now is that the food we order almost always looks great and has impeccable taste. It's insane how high the quality of food is every single time, and for us, this is one of the great joys of living in Japan. And in order to learn more about how it's made and be able to take some of this experience home with us, we are taking you guys to Kappabashi Street, a short 20-minute walk from Ueno Station.
Ali and I were feeling a little bit under the weather today, so this big bowl of noodle soup was just really doing its job, right? So delicious. And it really still amazes me how many flavors there are. Just when you think you've tried every type of noodle, which we have by now, there's still more flavors to explore. I love it. So today we're taking you to something related to that, which is here in yet another area of Tokyo, the Ueno district. And behind me is a very famous kitchen tool street. We've been here once before and we were really surprised by how cool the stuff is that you can buy here for yourself or for souvenirs. So we're very excited to show you. It's definitely a worthy visit.
Worth a visit.
It's definitely worth a visit.
Whether you are a professional cook looking for tools or a gal who just wants to make her best possible matcha latte, Kappabashi is your town. It all started over 100 years ago, when this area began to pop up as a second-hand tool market. Since then, Kappabashi evolved into the place to be for the restaurant and catering industry, selling everything you can imagine related to the food business, except fresh ingredients.
These are like really affordable, huh? Like, this is what you can...
That's considered very rude in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Something like this, but even the handle is huge, right? Like,
That is the size they use in the restaurants.
yeah, we're not
Okay.
in a restaurant.
That's this deep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this?
What are we looking for?
Ramen strainers?
What about this size? Oh, there's one thing.
Exactly.
Clearly, we were not just browsing here, but looking to buy some very specific souvenirs. Especially because some of these items can only be found in Japan. Or just don't look as good elsewhere. And sadly, we were headed towards some of our last days in the country.
It's a bit high.
Yeah, right? Thought so too. Guess I can lower it a bit.
So of course I'm gonna show you what we found in this really cool street yesterday. But before I do that, if you really enjoyed this video and you want to come along on our journey, don't hesitate to subscribe. We would be really happy with it. It helps a lot. And now, the loot from yesterday. Well, first of all, I got this very important item. Ta-da! Guess what this is? This is supposed to keep my new matcha brush in the correct shape, which if you've seen our previous videos, you know I've gotten kind of into matcha, because once you get into Japanese foods and drinks, it's really hard to go back and you need the full entourage of things. Second item are these really cool wooden chopsticks. Look at this.
This is maple.
This is maple.
Maple, and this is...
Cherry wood.
Yeah, it could be that this is cherry.
Well, in any case, it's gonna be really cool to eat with these at home. And lastly, another very unique Japanese item, the bento box. Should I open it already? Right, for those who don't know, the bento box is basically like a lunch box, but here in Japan it often comes with a little separation piece that goes in the middle like this, I guess. And then you can separate different kinds of food. So cool, and you have so many different types to choose from. So obviously we had to get one of those to take home. I believe this goes around it. Shabam. So was there anything else we bought?
Yes, chef.
Wow, look at this sexy apron that Ali found. Show us the back.
No, I'm not wearing pants, no.
Oh,
I'm joking.
that
I'm
is
joking.
nice.
Thank you, yes, I'm also really happy.
So who's gonna be cooking now at home?
I have a new knife, so I'm probably gonna do some chopping.
Very nice.
Yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next Japan video.